What is up, Hackstab slash it's your boy Hacky. I gave Justin some criteria of actually no, this was my pick, wasn't it?
It
This
was your
this
pick. I was
you
gonna say
told me to
solid
keep it in the
start.
woods. Told me to
I
keep
did. I
it in the
said,
woods.
I said, keep that shit in the woods, Sean. Don't come around me with that. Keep that in the woods. I said, give me a horror movie. Takes place mostly in the woods.
And
And
I said,
Sean
you know what?
probably being
I
nice to
I
me.
have never ever in my entire life sat down and watched Sleepaway Camp from front to back. I've only seen clips, and I was like, you know what? Justin has a fond soft spot for this movie, and I have tortured him with two consecutive, almost back to back Resident Evil films earlier on. So I
Yeah, it's
said,
been
let
rough.
me throw my dog a bone
It's been
and
rough.
let me toss him some Sleepaway Camp because I really want to watch it, and now feels like the perfect time to do it because school's letting out, it's summertime's coming, it is Sleepaway Camp time. One of my favorite things about summertime wasn't just the fact that I ain't gotta get up for school. I could play Halo until 3 in the morning and eat all the goddamn Cheetos until my nose turned orange. It was going to camp during the summer. I love that shit.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So glad we picked this. So glad. Very excited to talk about this one.
How are your
Also, did you
expectations
say
going into
did
this?
all right, so my sleepaway camp story. Look, I've talked about the sequel so much. My first back, I'm old enough that I actually had to go to like movie stores back in the day. If anyone remembers seeing like VHSs, and Sleepaway Camp 2 has the best VHS cover of all time. I rented that shit, fell in love with the over the top slasher movie. So my introduction was Sleepaway Camp 2. And so I watched them out of order. I watched it 2, 1, 3. So I love it so much. And like I have a soft spot for the sequels. You always hear me talking about part two. Part one is more serious and stuff, and I love it. So I love Sleepaway Camp. I've been talking about this shit forever. I love those three movies so
Justin's
much.
got his own anthem. He's like, "Who's dialing 213? Yeah, you know
Yeah,
me.
seriously, right? I watched them in a weird
Sleepaway
order.
camp. Let's stack the bodies."
Ready to go. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen the first three Sleepaway Camps.
I cannot wait to get into this for the simple fact that I can't wait to cover the second one.
Dude, I have like the second one is so much fun. I mean, no disrespect to anyone in this movie. This movie is great. And obviously, it's got a better plot, way better. It's not even. But part two, my God,
I almost went with Hatchet too.
yeah.
But then
Oh
I
shit,
was like, you know what? I was like, let's start another series. That way, we got a couple of franchises rolling.
yeah.
So
We can
when
go
it
back.
comes time to like dive into other movies, we can go into it. But before we get into this, Justin, I have a fun fact for you, and
Okay,
it has to do with camp.
all right, let's
Did you
go.
know you cannot run through a campsite? You can only ran because it's past tense.
Past tense. Oh my dear God. Oh, ah, oh,
That took you so
it took
long.
me so long. Can we cut that out to make it look like I got it right away?
Oh, absolutely not. Not even close.
Oh
All right,
wow.
you ready to dive into these opening scenes?
Yeah, we gotta get past that. You want to take this
All
away?
right.
You want me to take it away?
Yes,
What do you
I'll
want?
take it away because I love these opening scenes because they're very different than most slashers, especially most of these old slashers. The first thing we see is the title card. Like right off the rip, no hesitation, no nothing before it, no 14 miles of credits telling us every actor, sub actor, sub actor, the actor that walked through the set that one time to grab a coffee because his set didn't have coffee, type
Hate
opening
that.
credits. You know the ones I'm talking about, right?
I got you. I got you.
It does start with various shots of what appears to be an abandoned campground that has been shut down by the sheriff and is currently up for sale. I
Let's
do
go.
like this because you hear in the background kids calling baseball, water splashing. Like, obviously, this was the place to be. And I like how the sound is from a different time and it's showing you what it is right now. And we immediately do go back into time, or at least that's what I'm thinking, because it really doesn't tell us. But we see a full campground, we see a nice family relaxing by the lake. Well, relaxing is more of an understatement because these two kids with what I think are heavy New York or New Jersey accents are going back and forth, and they are just hammering each other out with the fucking, nah, I didn't, kid. I don't know what she's talking about. Like, just really laying it on
Hmm.
thick. And I feel like they're gonna start debating on who's gonna win the Subway Series next. Will it be the Mets? Will it
I
be the Pinstripes? I don't know, but
don't
hey,
know.
hey, you know, New York wins either way. But just like an 80s camp slasher, a group of careless teens causes an accidental death that leaves a father dead and what seems like one of the two children that were bickering back and forth dead as well. And I'm just going to float this out there, dude. The screaming that takes place during this set of scenes, bro, all I can do is laugh because it is such
Oh,
heavy screaming with zero actions behind it. This chick is clearly sitting on her ass in the water, screaming at the top of her lungs. Not one water has been splashed in this whole shot. She
E-
is calm as a cucumber from the neck down.
even how like they fall off the boat is so funny. It's so ridiculous. Even like they just fall off and the boat like
Oh
starts capsizing.
no. I love it so much. But we fast forward 8 years and we meet Ricky and Angela, who are being sent off to camp in the most precarious way. Isn't that right, Justin? Yes, yes, it is. Aunt Martha, I
I,
believe is her name. Yes. And
Hater.
she is a certified whack job, if I've ever
Hmm.
seen one. She all her mannerisms and everything is purely robotic. She seems overly sensitive, not in like a good way though. And the sentence structure feels like it's all premeditated. Uh, and apparently at some point she decides she's gonna give her own kids their own physicals because she's a doctor. My only set of notes for the scene where they're getting ready to go to camp is
Yeah.
who the fuck gave this lady a license to practice medicine? If anything, she needs to take her string fingered finger, stick it up her ass, and get on the correct medications. I mean, clearly she's on some kind of medications. Are they the right ones? I beg to differ.
Absolute whack job. And like you said, like she's just all over the place and how she even says like, "Oh yeah, remember like your physical cards for camp, don't forget them." And she drops out she's the doctor and did it herself. Stuff just weird, open weird. I have no clue what's
Yeah.
happening.
This felt like an overly acted like dare infomercial that
Yeah.
they show us in school.
Oh
Stay
yeah.
off of kids' drugs. I
Yeah.
meant drugs, kids, because I'm on drugs. See
She was
how my
crazy.
brain works? Ha
She's all
ha
over the
ha.
place.
It
Insane.
it was embarrassing. Like, dude, I'm watching it, and Kristen's on her phone the whole time, and she kept looking up, and she was like, "What the fuck? This is horrible. Who acts like that?" She's like, "I hope this is intentional," and I was like, "I'm pretty sure it is."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But we go off to camp now, and Ricky's actually showing Angela the rope. She's like, "Hey, I know this person, that person. I had a fling with this one. I got my pickle tickled with this one." And eventually, though, they do get split up into their proper cabins, where we meet camp counselor Meg, who I am pretty sure is the biological mother of Meg Griffin. She definitely gives off Stewie Griffin type attitudes, but she's definitely part of that, family.
Okay.
I I am convinced you. I mean, you have no idea what I'm talking about because
I'm
I'm
not,
pretty sure
yeah,
you've never watched Family Guy. You lived under a rock through the 2000s.
my bad.
Yeah. Anyway, they treat Angela like straight shit because she's basically mute from all the trauma she's endured from that lakeside accident. Also, I'm purposely leaving out the scene of that disgusting head camp cook because, well, fuck that nasty piece of shit.
Yeah, can we at least briefly just say like what the hell did he try to do
No,
already?
no, I don't want to talk about the words that come out of this man's mouth
Oh no, we
because I don't even mention his name in my notes. I am so disgusted by the way he describes what does he call them, baldies?
oh
Getting
yeah.
off the bus and like sucking on that piece of straw and how nasty his teeth are. And even one of them like takes it up as a joke, like, "Oh man, you're too old for them." Ha ha ha. Like, good joke. And he's like, "Ain't no such thing as too old. Or ain't no
He
such thing as too young." And I'm like, this guy needs to die ASAP.
Oh,
Holy.
ASAP. Absolutely terrible, terrible. Worst human being in the history of the planet.
And then it's like a day or two later, like everyone's kind of settled in, and we meet Ronnie, the counselor, who is severely lacking some fucking clothes, but not lacking
Dude.
muscles by any means. I mean, let's be
No.
honest. This
Dude,
guy,
Jack.
seriously, Justin, though, this guy might have the best rack in this movie. And I mean that in the straightest way possible. Like, this man's chest is fucking impressive.
Dude, Ronnie is jacked, man.
Yeah. When you
All
do
the
see him,
creatine.
the first time I seen him, I was like, where are the rest of his shorts?
Dude, the shorts people wear in this movie? My God.
I'm surprised that there's enough fabric to cup the nuts.
Seriously.
Like, how are they not just falling out? How is your
Uh,
glizzy not out of the hot dog bun right now?
yeah, it's
It's
a lot
fucking
of questions.
crazy. He seems very kind and caring though, almost like he is made for this kind of job. Because he goes up to Angela, he realizes she hasn't been eating for a few days, and he very kind, calmly, and like just not assertive, but like takes her by the hand, brings her back to the kitchen, and he's like, "Hey," he's like, why don't you go? We'll talk to this cook. We'll find out some food you like, and we'll get you some food." He's like, "You want some ice cream?" All the kids like ice cream, but in the process of this, he gets a phone call, and he winds up leaving Angela back there, and again, this fucking piece of shit cook who should never be left alone with kids. And like I said, I'm not going to even mention his name for this movie. And I hope that he dies really, really fast for the whole incident that takes place in this walk-in like little dry pantry thing. Like this dude needs to catch the swiftness ASAP. And as I'm writing this, I go, thank fucking God this scene happens next. Man is standing over a gigantic boiling pot of water, and our slasher makes an appearance. You don't see who this is, but they do pull the chair out that this man is standing on, causing him to fall and pull down this giant boiling pot of water, dumping on top of this creep. Talk about washing away the filth of the earth. I am applauding right now at the TV. I am so happy this is happening. This guy looks worse than Chucky when he was getting melted in Child's Play 2. And what
For
makes this
real.
even more satisfying, Justin, is when the fucking medics show up. The lead medic says, "I
Dude.
don't have anything strong enough to help with his pain. He feels everything. Every nerve in his body must feel like it's 1,000 degrees." And they
I
go,
love
"Oh,
that.
poor guy."
I love how they actually say that. How they're like, oh, they tell you how much pain this guy is. And I mean,
Like
his
they don't even
arms
know
are
if his
just,
eyes are ever gonna come back. They think they're melted.
yeah. They literally don't know if this guy could ever see again.
I have never been so happy in my life at a failed attempt in a slasher movie in my entire existence. I hope this dude is still alive to this day and still feeling the same pain.
Still feels the same pain every single day.
Fucking
And
creep.
dude, and just talk about more red flags. I mean, after this crazy thing happens, the leader guy, he just starts covering it up. He's like, "Oh, this must just be like, it's just a bad accident, guys. You know what? The rest of you kitchen, this is just like kitchen guys, it's an accident. You know what? You're all gonna get a raise." He gives
He
everyone a
gives off
raise.
a total of $95 a week for
Hmm.
all of them to split.
For all of them. Yeah, I
I'm
was gonna
sorry, I'm
say
not I'm not
that,
helping you cover up murder for
for
90
right.
$95 split what, 4 or 5
I
ways?
was gonna say there's at least four people, maybe five people. That
Yeah.
yeah, what do you think? Insane. And then we see just some more fun activities. And tell me this, like you see like a baseball game, and I only write the scene just because there's nothing really much happening besides some amazing famous shit talking lines. Did you hear when they're up? They're like, eat. He says, "Well, oh, this guy blows dead dogs." He's like, "You know what?
Yeah.
Eat, dude." He tells them to eat shit and die, and then he's like, "You know
And the
what?
dude
Eat shit
responds
and
with "eat
live."
shit and stay alive."
Yeah, eat shit and live, Bill. Like, dude, Ricky, you are the coolest person in the whole entire world. Absolutely love that. But I just had to mention that because those lines are amazing.
I,
We
I
see
love that
throughout
whole
this,
scene so much.
dude, we see like Angela is getting picked on by the boys. Ricky, absolute badass. This dude is sticking up for her every single time possible. And guess what? We see Paul, one of Ricky's friends. He's actually really nice to her. And guess what? She talked. She finally friggin' talked. He's talking to her, and then he's leaving for the night, and she says, "Good night. Let's go, Angela. I knew you had it in you. Let's go."
Just real
Well,
quick before you
yeah.
continue, I don't mean to cut you off, but this dude, Paul, tell me he is not a lab grown genetic version of Corey Haim from Lost Boys, like the Coreys,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
mixed with Jesse Eisenberg from Zombieland.
Oh my God. No, I guess
Yeah.
I do know what you're talking about. Like the
Tell me he's not like the perfect blend of those two.
no, that's actually that's amazing. He really is.
All right, now tell
And
me all about the white ass cheeks.
yeah, we see, it's time. There's a lot of white ass cheeks. So let's talk about that. Now, everyone, all the guys and girls, they were trying to get everyone to go skinny dipping. All the guys run in there and go skinny dipping, and we see, well, Kenny and Leslie, they go out there in a canoe. They're going out there. Well, he kind of like shakes it, and the thing capsizes, and she's like, "You know what? Screw you." She just bails right away. So she's like, "I'm
Not
out of
just her,
here."
dude. They all fucking bailed. They're like,
Yeah,
fuck this dude.
yeah.
See you later.
Everyone was just like, "Peace." So
Never
everyone freaking
comes up
leaves.
for a breath of air. And you're like,
Yeah,
yeah, he's good.
yeah, he's good. And they all just freaking so it's just him out there. to the point where he goes like underneath the canoe where there's like you can still like breathe and his head up there, and all of a sudden you see a head, you don't see who it is, and I'm pretty sure he even says like, "Oh, you like what are you doing here?" And then all of a
The
sudden you
guys will
just
have fun with this one.
yeah, and he's like, "What the hell?" She just this person looks like maybe it could be a girl, and she just starts drowning him, and you're like, what the hell?" And in the morning, they find Kenny. They're like, "Oh my God!" And this dude is messed up. I mean, he clearly drowned, but he's
He
bleeding.
reminds me
He,
for some reason of the dead pirates on the Black Pearl or whatever they were on in Pirates of the Caribbean. You know how they all were like they had like shit growing on their faces and
yes,
like sea snakes and like
I was just
eels
gonna
and
say he
shit
had
would
a
come out
water
of
snake out
rainbow.
of his mouth.
I loved so much the way he looked, dude. That was amazing.
Dude, that's the thing. This movie is so
The
there's so much
practical
cool.
effects and the makeup right now
Yes,
are some of the best I've ever seen.
and like this just
And
picks.
that's not a lie. Like they are fucking phenomenal.
No, I freaking love it. I'm so glad we did this. And like I said, badass snake out of the mouth. And once again, the guy owner, Mel, he's just like, it's an
It's an
accident.
accident. It's an
It's just an
accident.
accident. Like this happens and everything. And you even see like Ronnie's even kind of like, I thought that guy was a good swimmer and everything. Like you could tell he's kind of like, what the hell? But Mel's just like, well, show goes on, and then it's like, well, let's go, kids, let's go, kids. Completely sweeps it under the rug. Paul, he ends up asking Angela to watch a
They have
movie
a
at the
full
rec.
blown actual conversation. I'm pretty fucking sure this is the most lines she has said consistently in this
And it
entire
was
movie.
almost weird hearing her voice, like when you get used to it, because like you see her for so long, and she's
I
just
had
got
to
like
do a
that
double
blank.
take.
She's just got that blank stare, and just like so innocent looking. And they have a whole entire conversation. They talk about how they're going to see a movie at the rec hall. Everyone's going to the rec hall later. And once again, a few girls they start picking on her. Paul ends up like kissing her. It's very awkward though because she like runs. It doesn't go great at all. But
She looked like she ran away more of like, oh my god, is this happening?
yeah, it was just yeah, exactly. It was
Like right
just
now,
like
the way things are looking up for Angela, I'm like genuinely happy for this chick.
oh, me too. I like when she finally talked and I'm like, let's go. Like I'm friggin' loving Angela right now. So pumped for her. But man, these girls, dude. I mean, this is a rough scene because you got Meg and the girls are all making fun of Angela again. And I mean, to the point where they're like, how come you don't shout with us? How come you don't do this? I mean, I'm pretty sure they're like, what do you like, queer or something? And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, she hasn't hit puberty. I mean, they are vicious. They're taking this very personal to her. It's really, really shitty.
But if you
And
want like something to relieve the tension, this next set of scenes I absolutely love because it reminds me of camp. And
Mhm.
one of the times we actually did this, I was actually in Cub Scouts and we were at a thing called the Klondike, which is where like a bunch of troops compete against each other over like a long weekend. And
Mhm.
I think it was this kid Gary, out fucking cold, or Steve. One of the two was out cold, and we did the shaving cream in the hand and
Oh
tickled the
yeah,
nose, like they
yeah.
do to this kid. I think they call him Mott's. I don't know
Mhm.
if they're like his name's Mozart or maybe. I mean, this is the '80s, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was Jewish and they're calling him Mott's, like matzo ball soup.
Yep.
But anyway, they spin it. It shows you how wild times were back then. Because not
Hmm.
only do they pull this harmless prank on this kid, he gets up and grabs what looks like a 6 to an 8 inch fucking hunting knife
Dude,
and begins trying to kill Ricky across this cabin. And the counselor walks in, simply grabs it and goes, "You'll be lucky to get this back at the end of the summer," and puts it away. And they were like, "Oh, we were just playing around. Can he have it back?" I'm not vouching for Mott's. Ricky's asking for him to have it back like it was a joke. I'm like, no, dude just tried to fucking kill me.
dude was just gonna stab you with the knife when you guys were just having like just playing a prank on him.
Oh my god! But just to continue how wild things can get, we also see some young love is starting to bloom down by the lake. We got birds a chirping, and then out of nowhere, man, a pissed off Meg hates Angela with an absolute burning passion. This bitch basically assaults her for not answering her, and not mean girl Judy. Just sorry, I'm like choking right now.
You
But
okay? You good?
yeah, she like basically assaults her for not talking to her. And then we also see Mean Girl Judy is now laying into her later on at the cabin, like, fuck you for getting Meg in trouble. And Angela's right. Angela looks at her and goes, I didn't get her in trouble. Like I didn't do anything. And just how mean and nasty these two like team up on Angela just makes me hate them so much. And
Oh
even like
yeah,
later on when Angela is outside, she gets it from the boys' end too, because as she's harmlessly
dude.
walking across like the courtyard, they start throwing water balloons at her.
Drills
And
her.
the second this happens, the look she gives them, I'm like, one of these kids is on the chopping block next, because it feels like anyone that does Angela some form of wrongdoing kind of gets something bad done to them.
Mhm.
And then my next set of notes is nothing worse than taking a wicked dump kid and getting stung to death by bees, because we see our killer cuts into the screen and throws in, I'm assuming a wasp nest or a
Mhm.
hornet's nest or something, and they even like whack it around on the stick to really shake it up and piss him off. And I'm gonna put this out there again, the makeup in this movie is on point,
And
because
tell me
let's
these
be,
kills aren't so fun. Like, tell me
they're
that's
so
not
fucking
so much
great, dude.
fun.
So much fun, because let's be 100% honest with ourselves right now, Justin. This scene would have been a top-notch scene in any Candyman film out there.
Oh, all right, hold on. Just before I interrupt you. So this is my notes on the scene. I love that you just said that. I was like, after the dude gets like absolutely stung to death, I said Candyman would be so proud right now.
Oh
Just want to
yeah.
throw that out there. I wrote that too.
I
So,
seen the way this guy's face looked covered in stings, and
dude,
all I can hear is like sweets to the sweet.
right?
But
No,
right after
I
this, dude, we start seeing Mel looks like a man possessed.
dude.
He feels like there's something's going on. He feels like he might know who the killer is, and in his head, he's like, "I'm gonna stop him." And Ronnie's like, "Bro, chill the fuck out. Like, what's up your ass? Like, you're coming off a little crazy." And it just shows like the underlying things that are going on in the campground, so it helps push the storyline. But it does bounce us right back to some more young love down by the lake under the moonlight. The mood is right, everything's looking good, everything seems to finally be going in Angela's favor. She might have the best summer of her life, right up until Paul moves a little bit too fast. He starts trying to grab her chest and play around in there. Um and she gets like sent, I don't know how to describe this, just she gets sent into like what, like a trance like dream state, where
Yes,
we
some
see
kind of like
that
weird
her
flashback or
dad
something.
uh is gay.
Hmm.
He's in bed with the dude from the opening scene who I thought was like an uncle
Yeah,
or
I didn't know
something.
that at first either. Yeah.
Yeah, they're in bed together like coddling. And then she's in bed with her brother, which is very strange. And they do this like weird thing where he's pointing at her and he slowly gets closer, like every rotation around the bed. It was just very weird. And I had a very hard time understanding what was
Trying to
going
figure out what
on.
the hell's happening here.
Maybe later on when you figure out like a twist, that might make sense, because maybe she's got like a couple of things living on inside of her head, and psychosis and I don't know all the proper terminology. But Justin, why don't you tell me how to play capture the flag?
Yeah, so then it is capture the flag time. And obviously, I mean, she's not really participating in too much stuff. But Ricky asked her to play. He's got a whole entire plan and everything. So you know what? She does. So as they're going to
This
look for
feels
the
like some shit you would do. Let's run through the woods. No one will
oh,
find us.
100%. Dude, capture the flag. Oh my God, let's go. I always was scheming like this was 100% right up my alley. But unfortunately, they do go through the woods. They have a whole entire plan. But Angela, well, they both see Judy is there and Paul is kissing Judy. And Judy is such a bitch. Like poor Paul, I mean, he's like obviously you shouldn't be kissing her, but I mean, she is completely just like seducing him and like pushing everything around there. Like what a
Judy is
bitch.
such a bitch, because not only does she fuck up Paul's relationship with Angela, she also breaks Ricky's heart, because
That
Ricky is clearly still in love
ex
with Judy. But
exactly.
because Judy does this with Paul, Paul is Ricky's best friend.
Yeah, that's what I
There
mean.
is
Like
a
this.
massive Jerry Springer, Ricky Lake meets Maury fucking triangle
No,
going
that's what
on
I
right
meant. There's
now.
so much. Yeah, like, that's why I was like, not only Angela sees it, well, also Ricky, because this girl is a complete train wreck. And at this point, you see like you flash to Mel, and Mel is still freaking out. He's like thinking like he's like thinking like Ricky's the killer and everything. And we see he like confronts Ricky, and he's like holding on to Ricky and kind of like grilling him with questions.
Yeah,
But as this is happening, Angela by friggin' Meg and Judy, they like carry her over, and she is tossed in the water, and he's holding the friggin' Ricky so he can't go get it. And they even mentioned
he's
like
like, you
some,
need to learn some space. He's like, every time this chick gets in trouble, you try to save her. Yeah, that's his
yeah,
cousin.
that's what it works. And Ricky was just kind of, and he does mention like some of the kids get sent home, like there's not as much people at the camp now. But as when she gets, oh my God, like poor Angela, man, she is thrown in there. and even some kids like kick like sand at her and stuff. I mean, she's having a rough time, man. She is just having an absolutely rough time. But there is a very big night because it is a social at the rec hall. And they show a few people get the night off. They say, Meg, you know what? You get the night off so you can go do your thing. One
Hmm.
guy has to bring all the small campers to
I
the
think his name's
lake.
Eddie.
Yeah, yeah, Eddie. So Eddie gets control of all because they have like different age groups. They like go camp under the stars and everything. And we see Meg is gonna have a date with Mel, like
Dude,
the
just
guy,
real quick,
like
Justin, I get it
yeah,
now. I get why Meg's mad that Angela is experiencing like young love at the camp, and
yeah.
all Meg's bitch ass can do is muster up an old saggy, gray, chain smoking cigar nutsack of a man and Mel. Like I get it. I get it.
Like what is even happening here? Like I was just like, what
Somebody's
the
got some
shit?
daddy issues or granddaddy issues or great granddaddy issues.
Yeah, yeah. These ages are not lining up, man,
Do you
at
think do
all.
you think do you think when she fools around with Mel, she counts like the wrinkles on his dick to see how old he is? Like each wrinkle is a decade.
I don't even. I'm not even gonna respond to. So anyway, she needs to take a shower and prepare
It's like
herself.
rings on a tree.
Oh my dear God, there's no way that just happened. She ends up having a shower in the next door because the girls won't let her cut, but she needs to go prepare herself, cut the line and everything. So
Yeah, she's not
we
gonna
see
cut
a
the
shower
line. She's gonna
scene.
cut the spine.
And these cuts, man, she is in there, she is showering, it is all good. And you see she's like stabbed from behind of the shower. But this thing is digging in. This thing like slices her absolutely up. Holy shit, like she is gone. She falls, and like I said, I mean, this thing is like a 2 foot cut through her back.
Dude,
Absolutely
not a
crazy.
fucking chance this isn't an homage to Psycho. Not a chance.
Oh no, that's what I mean. Like now we have a cool badass shower scene. We see Paul's like apologizing to Angela, and he's like, "Look, I'm so sorry. I'm moving fast. Like I did not mean to kiss. Like this is come on, like please." And she gives him. She we get it. Basically tells him, "You know what? Meet me at the waterfront after the social.
She
Let's
says it
freaking
fucking
go."
cold though.
Yes, I know. I don't know. She basically yeah. This isn't like the cute flirty
This
way
isn't
earlier.
Angela. This is whatever's going on in this poor girl's head that shuts her down to not talk to anyone. But
Yeah, this is.
do you want to tell us about this beautiful POV shot that's coming up? I know how much
Uh,
you like POV shots.
so
When Eddie's out there with the
oh yes,
campers,
dude. Oh my
he
God, yes.
brings two
So
of them back.
yes, Eddie's out there with the kids and everything. I was wondering what we're talking about. And two kids are like, "Yo, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, let's go back to the car." And he's looking because there's still other kids sleeping there. But he's like, "What do I do? Do I bring the other two kids back?" So he does bring the two kids back. Meanwhile, we see somebody is watching that, and we look at a hatchet, and like I said, it's a POV shot. So we see someone steal the hatchet. I assume that someone was just going to use the hatchet and go back and kill other people. I did, but
That's a good assumption because then it jumps right back to Mel,
yes,
who finds
exactly.
Meg. Yeah, he
Right,
finds Meg, and this man fucking snaps.
dude.
When I, based off of like how creepy these older men are in this movie, when he sees Meg lying face down and he's like heartbroken because he thought he was going to get some tonight, when he goes to leave and then turns around to do like a double take, I was fully expecting this man to roll her over so he could get a front end shot before he left.
Yeah, the first, like, I obviously know this happens, but the first time I watched this too, I remember just cringing. I'm like, dude, do not,
I
like,
thought
come
he was
on.
going to roll her over so he could like sneak a peek.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank God he didn't because I think I
Hmm.
would have vomited in my mouth because there are some very heavy tones in this movie.
Oh God, yeah.
But like I said, dude, Mel actually finds Meg. He snaps, and now he's hell bent that all of these killings are being done by Ricky. Oh, I honestly, I don't know if I blame him because
Yeah,
our
right.
killer shows right up to Judy's cabin. And when we see someone standing in the doorway and the lights kind of like shining behind them, it is very clearly Ricky. I've watched this 4 times, and that is Ricky. He's
Mm-hmm.
just got much longer hair.
Mm-hmm.
We see that he goes in, all the lights are still off. Judy's in there. He's smothering Judy with a pillow, and then he uses a very hot curling iron to finish the job before dumping her behind the bed. We now flash back to the campsite where Eddie had brought the two campers back to their cabins, and then he makes it back out to the rest of the campers to finish the camp out, only to see when our killer had their POV of grabbing the hatchet, they fucking laid waste to all of these kids. And Eddie is just absolutely mortified because there's blood and sleeping bag linings everywhere. And I feel so bad for Eddie right now because that man is blaming himself. Like, had I just said no and made those two kids tough it out, I could have protected these kids. And we find out that it might not be Ricky because this man is fully dressed. He's very clean, but he did disappear for a while. And he shows up at the rec hall because he wants food. It's very convenient that everything's all over and now he makes his appearance. So you get the
Yes.
feeling that this could be Ricky because that killer that was going after Judy looked very much like Ricky. The only difference is he's not wearing all blue. He's back in his regular whites. Ronnie gets a phone call from Eddie about the campers. And while this happens, dude, Mel snatches up Ricky and beats the shit out of him.
It's a
Like
smack attack.
borderline beats him to death and then realizes, oh my God, I just beat this kid to death. I need to leave. I
Mhm.
need to run away. He doesn't make it all but 10 feet before our actual killer who makes contact with Mel, and Mel goes, no, can't be you. Not a chance. No way. Puts an arrow straight through this man's gullet, effectively shutting this prick up for the rest of his life. I'm
Tell
so
like
glad I do not have to hear him talk.
how cool was that scene though? He runs into like an archer. We see the target behind him,
And
and
it was
just
seamlessly done once it hit his throat and came out the back. Flawless editing on that.
so cool, so
Flawless.
cool. Love the scene.
The camp goes on full lockdown. We see Paul is waiting by the lake trying to reconcile things with Angela, who is very, very cold still. And she actually wants to go swimming with him. Well, skinny dipping, to say the least. Um, while this is happening, a cop and one of the counselors searching the woods after all these campers and everything had happened, they did notify the police. He finds Ricky and he's still alive, thank God. And as they are carrying him back to the campgrounds, they get sidetracked as they hear screams coming from one of the girls' cabins where Meg is
Oh.
found. And I'm gonna let Justin touch on this very last scene because it is iconic, and this is your movie, my friend.
Yeah, man, this is a lot. So, all right. So, yeah. So, like I said, all of a sudden they're like, "Wait, we hear something," and they right after they find Meg's body, they hear like singing or something, and they go down there, and we see it's Angela. She looks like she is sitting there, topless, with Paul like on her lap, and she's like stroking his hair, and
To the
holy shit.
untrained eye, I feel like they just had sex and he's sleeping it off, and she's in heaven.
Yeah, it looks like it's a cute. It looks like it's like a fun moment. That's what it looks like. And then all of a sudden, boom, we're hit with another weird flashback. This flashback is batshit crazy because we see
No, this
crazy.
flashback is not batshit crazy. Aunt fucking Martha is
Yes,
batshit crazy.
we see crazy friggin' Martha. She's talking about how she is obsessed and she needs to have a girl. She wanted a girl,
But her
and
husband
we
left her
see.
before they could have a girl. Let's be honest, Justin. I'm sorry to keep cutting you off, but I don't think I would have made it to marriage with this fucking chick the way she
I don't
acts.
know
I
how
don't
anyone
think I
could have
would have
married
made it
her.
to a second date update. Like she would have had to call 94.5 to find me and talk this out because I don't think I would have ever gone on date number two.
And we see that the kid was the son. She's talking to the son in the beginning of the movie, not Angela. Angela was died
Peter.
where exactly
Oh
like
yeah.
this is yeah, Angela died with the father in the boating thing. This is poor friggin' Peter who survived the boating accident, and he was raised as as his dead sister. Like what? Like the whole entire time, and then all of a sudden, like when you see that, like everything's flashbacks. You talk about how she was like the doctor and she did and you're like, oh my God. And before you can process that though, you're just like, what the hell just happened? We're back to the present now. She jumps up, and Paul's head he is beheaded. His head is cut off, so the head goes crazy,
Paul
and
does look
the
happy though, so I'll give him that.
yeah, he had a smile on his face. Um, the craziest look on Angela's face you have ever seen, and she's like growling and hissing with the craziest look, and she's naked. But not only that, like she's hissing naked. You see everything. She has a penis. She is standing there, like looking to the side, like hissing, growling. You see the thing, boom, end credits, Sleepaway Camp. What the hell just happened?
Justin, I shit you not, my very last set of notes are almost word for word what you just said. I
Like,
go, anyways, after this fucked up flashback, we see Paul isn't sleeping. He's fully decapitated, and Angela is hissing and growling like a rabid dog. Talk
yes,
about the ultimate transformation from a quiet girl to a naked dick swinging killing machine. End
that
credit.
hisses. Like, what just happened?
Oh
That was
my
a
God.
lot. That was a lot to process.
Yeah. Even Kristen was like, why did they have to show the penis?
That-
I was like, oh my God.
yeah, that was a lot.
All right.
All right,
So
take us
do you
away.
want to? All right.
You can give me
So
your thoughts
outside
first.
of some very questionable pedo tones in this movie that absolutely made my stomach turn, I love how well paced this movie is. The practical effects, the makeup, it's all top notch in my opinion. The score, the setting, the characters, even the fucking storyline. How is Sleepaway Camp not a massive success? Like, how is this not top tier in front of everything? Hot take, Justin.
Yeah.
I like this. You ready for my little list?
All
I
right.
enjoyed this film more than The Burning, Friday the 13th, parts 1 and 2, Prom Night, The Prowler, Final Exam, Butcher Baker, Nightmare Maker, and so many other movies from this golden age of slashers. This I cannot state that this is a must watch, and I am so glad that I've been restraining myself from this movie to watch it in its entirety for the podcast. Like I said before, I've only seen bits and clips, and unfortunately, like the rest of the world, I knew the twist before I even watched the movie because it's
Yeah,
one
of
of the
course. Yeah.
most talked about things in horror genre relationships fucking across the board. This movie is easily top 5 80s camp for me at this exact moment in time. If I had to sit down and give you a list, I don't know where it would end up, but it would definitely be right up there. I'm giving this an 8.5, rating this a must watch. My only advice being to try and ignore the gross sick fuck cook in the beginning because it gets killed right away and the dude's got like 3 lines and you can just completely ignore everything about that man. And the best thing about this movie is that they did take that guy out fast and violently.
Hell yeah. That yeah, so we're kind of like right there. Like I said, I mean, I've obviously seen this a million times. I have such a sweet spot for the sequels. But the thing I like about this one, but the sequels I love because they're just the pure fun, like just the most fun you could ever imagine in a slasher, but they get definitely more stupid. This one is like a surprise. Like I said, I'm surprised. Like everyone in the like the horror community knows Sleepaway Camp. Obviously, everyone knows that. Everyone knows the ending. But I am surprised it's not. It definitely should be more popular for all like the 80s horror. Because like I said, I actually it's funny that you wrote you like this better. I like this movie better than a handful of Friday the 13th. This is some of the like I know I like literally wrote that. Like
Same
I can't.
fucking page.
That's why
Same
I can't
page.
believe you even wrote that. And I wrote this is a super solid for the practical effects. The kills are so creative. It captures that awesome camp feeling. I love everything about this, and it actually has a good storyline. Because the first time I remember the first time I saw this, I remember being at my friend's house, probably like wicked late at night, drinking a ton, like and watching like 80s horror movies. And I remember just being like, holy shit, like when she stood up, I just remember like I can remember that exact moment where I was watching this. So and I like I said, I give this a solid 8.6. So we are right there.
Dude, and we keep saying the effects and the makeup and all that stuff. Like Romero is the goat.
Yeah.
I unfortunately I did not look up who the special effects were and who the makeup artists and stuff were in this movie,
Hmm.
but there is no reason why they can't be in that conversation based off of just this movie. Like if you grabbed every special effects person throughout the 80s and they had one movie to throw in the ring as a contender, this would be in that mix. To like
Oh yeah.
compare, like, oh, this is what I did on this movie, not a career as a whole, because sometimes you get a one hit wonder. I'm not saying that this person was, but I'm saying if you had to, like, if Romero was like, all right, I can only throw in Day of the Dead, whoever this person was, if you only threw in Sleepaway Camp, that would be a neck and neck fight.
100%. And before we get into fun facts, I just want to talk on a sad fact instead of a fun fact real fast. Just because I don't know if you saw that this literally just happened. I was devastated. This happened literally just last month. Ricky, the actor who played Ricky, just passed away. Jonathan Tiersten literally just passed away in April. So I just want to shout out, just rest in peace. That's absolutely so tragic and terrible.
I
So
did not
I
know that.
just, yeah, it literally just happened because I saw Felissa Rose pass. I think he was like 60. I think he was about 60, and I saw her posting about it. Everyone posting about it. So that just happened a couple weeks ago. So I just want to say that, just rest in peace. That's terrible.
That absolutely sucks.
Yeah.
All right,
Uh,
so
do you-
let's dive into
yeah.
fun facts. Bring the mood back up.
Yep. Let's bring it on. So there we go. I just had to mention that
So
first.
naturally, I'm going to tell you what the ratings are. We got a 6.2 on IMDb as well as an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes. Both scores I personally think should be way higher.
For real, man. So I love this fact because we also talked about how like Angela just didn't talk forever. She doesn't even say her first line until 31 friggin' minutes into this film. I thought that was really cool.
That is pretty dope. I know we give this dude a lot of shit throughout the film, but this is Mike Kellen's final film. He was sick during the filming and he did his best to conceal it. He did die of lung cancer later in August of 1983, just 3 short months before the film's release. Which, if you don't know who I'm talking about, Mike Kellen plays Mel,
I was
which
just
is
gonna say
absolutely
Mel.
fucking wild because this mood like rips cigars throughout the whole movie.
Oh yeah. Yep. Um, I got Felissa Rose was 13 during filming this movie.
For as much as Judy and Meg treat Angela like shit, it actually turns out that all three of them were really close and became really good friends during filming. And Catherine said that the scene where she has to throw Angela into the water was actually very hard to shoot for her because she felt horrible about it.
Felt so bad for us. I did read that. And despite the fact that this film actually took place in midsummer, it actually is shot in early fall. And I don't know if you realize that. Did you notice in like the beginning of the movie when they were showing? I noticed that right away because it's like summer camp, but when they show like
You see
a
some
lake and
dead
everything,
leaves and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
all the trees are like orange and everything. And it looks like beautiful fall. And I was like, oh, that's a little odd.
You know how we said like we don't understand how this film wasn't a massive success like across the board, even still to this day. Like it's still gaining traction.
Yeah.
One of the things I read that I absolutely loved is this film became an unexpected hit and something of a cult favorite for horror movie buffs. Justin, the budget for this movie was $350,000. It made 30 times more than that when it was spent. Like when it came out, it made 30 times the budget. That is
Love it.
fucking insane.
No, that absolutely, as I say, I love it. Word of mouth. I love the cra Oh, I love it so much. What do we got here? Dude, this one is amazing. That whole like climatic scene there was actually a nude guy wearing a mask that was cast from Felissa's face. So I mean, how crazy is that?
After I read that fact and then I rewatched the movie, I was like, thank God, because I was like, how the fuck did they make this work?
Yeah, yeah,
Because
I
it
never
doesn't look like a mask. Like her face is
exactly.
clearly frozen, and after you know it's a mask, you can see it, but
You're like,
it
okay.
does not look like it because she's so blank stared and frozen throughout this movie that it looks like her. And I'm
Yeah,
like, did
you're
they not
right.
cover her in prosthetics? Because she's not a small little girl, like she is a physically fit man.
Yep.
The original artwork for the Sleepaway Camp Survival Kit DVD box set, which I did go on eBay and look for, is roughly about $200, and I'm thinking about ordering one because of how much I fell in love with this movie, which did include unauthorized sequels. It was recalled after a short time on the shelves because American Red Cross complained that its trademark Red Cross logo appearing on the cover affected them, so they did pull them back and they re-released like a different style. But you can find that on eBay, which is wild. I had no idea, and I think it's the coolest thing.
That oh my God, I absolutely freaking love that. Um, I wrote they actually had to cut a shot of Judy's death because it was actually too grisly. Because I remember if you see the whole soldering iron, they're
It's a
probably,
curling iron, but
curling
I'm glad you
iron. What the
started on
dear God,
that.
just I was gonna say, what am I even talking? Anyway, yeah, they had to cut it because it got a little too grisly and a little too gross, so they had to cut that out a little bit.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was watching this movie the first time, I was hoping that it went like they stuffed it in her mouth, like he was holding the pillow and she was getting ready to gas her air. And I was hoping that when he moved it, it went right down her throat.
Yeah,
And then the second time watching it, I was like, there's a lot of like creepy ass shit that happens in this movie. And I was hoping he didn't whoop in
that
one end And now that I read that it was cut by the MPAA, I was like,
Oh yeah,
maybe that happened.
that did.
Um,
I'm pretty sure that happened.
I don't
That
need
happened.
to see the actual kill, but I kind of want to see it.
Yeah. So
You
yeah,
know what I
that
mean?
happened.
Just to see how grisly it really is. But if it is the second thing that we
Yeah.
kind of touched on, I don't want to see
Yeah.
it.
No, yeah, we're good. We're good.
Karen Fields, who actually plays Judy, she may play a bully in this movie, but cast and crew have commented numerous times at how kind she is in reality. She actually has a transgender son who loves this movie and encouraged her to participate in fan conventions. She even volunteers for the Trevor Project and a suicide prevention organization for the LGBTQ plus youth, which I think is absolutely amazing. And for something that shows a young person going through the struggle of not understanding sex or sexuality or anything like that, and having an adult force them to be something that they're not, are a lot of hot topics right now. And I am so glad that a movie like this can help people find comfort in the horror genre with those battles. And I
Oh
am
hell
glad
yeah.
that an actress like Karen Fields is using that not to her advantage, but to the community's advantage to help promote and help with organizations and help with something like the Trevor Project. I think that's just amazing.
No, it is. And this movie was a really hot topic with that because people were like, oh, is Angela trans or she wasn't trans because she was forced to that. And I know a lot of people were really angry because there was a lot of anti-trans stuff in there. They're like, that's not so I know that was a really hotly debated in the whole entire horror community for a long time about this movie. It was just saying, oh my God, no, it's anti this and no, but I
Also, back
know
then, it was still a very, like, it's still a very raw topic that isn't fully understood by a lot of people. And this is
exact.
2023. Back in the 80s, it was completely unheard of.
Also, really quick, did you just say it's 2023?
Yeah, I did.
Is that
Wow.
2026? Bro,
You know,
what the shit? Sorry, I'm just like you threw me off of my thoughts. But yeah,
uh,
exactly. No, it's a
it's
hot and
2026.
there's far better people to try to break all that stuff down than me. But I do, and the fact that even it shows like her dad's gay and stuff, like it shows there's a lot of hot topics in here,
Yeah.
and I know like a lot of the community embraces this movie, so that is awesome. But you
I
just
fucking
definitely threw
love it.
me off of what I
You
said,
know
how
what
you
it
just randomly
is
dropped 2023.
I
Sorry.
have two last fun facts, and I was
Yeah.
staring at the very last one, which is the body count is 13, and I was staring at the three as I was saying it was
Okay.
2023.
Yeah, because you threw me off. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, what the hell?
Well,
All
fun
right.
fact, hashtag Flash, there's a body count of 13.
Yeah, all right, there we go. And then let's see if I have anything else. Oh yeah, the tagline. It says, "You'll go there in a bus, but come back in a bag."
Hell yeah. And then my last one is the paramedics who carry away Artie the cook. Damn it. I said I wasn't going to say his name. They were actually real life paramedics from a neighboring town, which surprised me
Mm,
because if you look at the paramedic that like folds his arm in as they're going through the door, tell me next time you watch this, Justin, look at
mm.
him and then look at Mel directly behind him. Tell me that paramedic is not Mel's real life kid.
Oh no, shit! Just look. I will
It
say
is
I did
like the
not notice that.
spitting image of Mel if Mel was like 40 years
Yep,
younger. But
love
that's
it.
all I got. Do you got anything else?
The last thing I got, I wrote this spawned two amazingly out of line, crazy over the top slashers, part two and part three. I mean sequels. Absolutely ridiculous, starring Pamela Springsteen takes over as Angela. And then we also have a return to Sleepaway Camp in 2008, which this director, I
It
believe, took
reunited a lot of the
of the
characters too.
original one. And I'm not gonna lie, that I own that, but I still haven't seen it. I've because I've seen the first three for so long. And then there was some weird bullshit part four one put up for a little bit that uses like archive footage and everything, but it was like not really a part of this. So that's all I got.
Oh hell yeah. Until next time, hack stab slash, go watch Sleepaway Camp and have a great fucking time doing it.
Peace.
Later.